Well, good evening and welcome to Regular EV Dad. And as ever, it's not a video if co-pilot London isn't with me. We're doing two fantastic things this evening. First of all, we're going to Scrumptious Fish and Chips in Santa Cruz, and I'm going to put a link to them. Follow them on Instagram. If you've never had proper British chips, this is something you need. And yes, my diet does start very shortly. Second of all, we are going to the Tesla Supercharger at Scotts Valley near Santa Cruz to charge up the eTron. Join me over there while we watch this Mustang come through sideways. Well, good evening. In what could only be described as a Tesla owner's worst nightmare, here we are at the Scotts Valley Charger, just between San Jose and Santa Cruz, and it's absolutely horrible. If you own a Tesla, this is the last thing you want. Right now, there's a Chevy Bolt plugged in, obviously charging at a maximum of 50. A gentleman's just turned up in his Kia. We'll talk about him in a minute because he's an interesting case, a thoroughly charming chap. And then I turned up in Mrs. Regular V's eTron as well. So let's get onto this. Alright, let's get this started. So we're going to go into the app, nice and easy, 13 or 16 available, 250 kilowatts, 52 cents a kilowatt. A little bit pricey, but this is just for testing. We're going to select, we're on 1A. I've updated my billing information, saving that, updated. I'm sure this is just a one-time piece. Okay, unlock adapter, nice and easy, push in, pull out, flip down the eTron, and in she goes. How easy is that? Let's have a this is nice and easy. So it's doing a little bit of communication. We don't have a green light yet, but I feel that one is imminent. Sounds. Now it does say that it can take up to 2 minutes to make a connection because of course Tesla's not doing the bit in the middle on this. It's having to use the native CCS charging framework. And sure enough, ramps up straight to 148 kilowatts. Well, that's fantastic. Tell you what, I'm going to finish my charge, tell you how I feel about it on the drive home. Well, this isn't how I would normally close out a video. Technically, I'm sitting on bed. But I want to get this video out because I'm starting a slightly ridiculous trip tomorrow. And I simply won't be able to get it edited, uploaded otherwise. So, charging, no issue at all. Let's talk about the thing that the keen-eyed viewer may have noticed, which was that I was parked differently. That car park, it made sense. I didn't consume any more spaces than I should need to. But yeah, you don't realize how far back the charger is on the eTron, and the way that site's set up. There was no way of going nose in, even if I came in right on the wire, as it were. So the minimum stretch just too far. But coming in on sideways, I didn't consume any parking spaces I shouldn't have done. And at that time of night, there was no one to do. Let me talk about the chap with the Kia. So we've had snow in the Santa Cruz Mountains, which is, we get a little bit, but not that much. But they've been without power. In fact, the only power they have comes from their solar panels and their Tesla batteries. There's quite a few people in the hills have that issue right now. And he really wanted to charge up his Kia. He's had it since the beginning of the year. It was around 54% state of charge. And for one reason or another, he knew there was a charger nearby. He thought he would go there. He just randomly picked one of the only
superchargers with the CCS network, just completely random, and while I was there. So anyway, I helped him through, and then I also helped him understand where the nearest EA chargers are. In fact, there's brand new chargers just been installed in Santa Cruz a couple of months ago. They're not the new chargers. And then there's the ones at Los Gatos at the Bank of America. But anyway, I had to explain to him how the maths work, and so he was only pulling 64. He had a very cold battery. We have cold weather right now, and his car's not moved, and it's been in snow for 4 days. So pulling 64, I think, is considered admirable. Yeah, and then the Chevy Bolt lady was there as well, which was interesting, and she left shortly before I did speak to her. Can't tell you anything. But what do I think this means? Well, we don't know Tesla's plans on where they intend to make MagicDocks available, and clearly looking at it, it's a relatively easy retrofit. We don't know if there's any back-end work required. Let me talk about the adapter itself. It feels prototypey. It's very solid. You do have to use the metal button to disconnect. And it's a real push. Something tells me that will go through some refinement. But for something that, I mean, it's a substantial adapter. I don't know if Tesla's even planning on making it just available so people can charge where they want. Clearly, they want to have some control over the network because they don't want the quality of service to change massively for their users. You're paying for a Tesla experience when you buy a Tesla. So the price, 52 kilowatts, 52 cents per kilowatt. I mean, that's expensive compared to Electrify America. It's cheap if you pay $12.99, but, you know, let's see where these goes. Right now, it's good to have choices. My hope is that Tesla is going to make it available on I-5, obviously, and in some of the select sites on I-80, for instance. Tesla could close the I-80 gap between Salt Lake City and Sydney, immediately by opening up a couple of sites. But we'll see. These are interesting times. I wish them well. I wish we knew the plan. But I'm glad to know that someone's putting one together. So this produces both competition, and hopefully that will also increase the service quality that we receive from Electrify America and from others. Hey, if you've enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, say something, ask a question, hit the thumbs up, and give a consideration to subscribing. I've been your regular EV Dad, John. You have a great night.